Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
What?
What?
Okay, we'll talk about it better because of the show.
Yeah.
All right, it is another lovely evening, and it's glad to have you on tonight's edition of a program, Men Uncut, on Western Spring Television. This is where we talk about issues relating to the male folks. You know, as men now, we talk about business, we talk about relationship, we talk about life in general. So this is a platform for the male folks where we talk about issues relating to the male folks. And today we'll be talking about something that it is not totally about the male folks. I think it's something that has to do with everybody, human beings in general. I am JTDA MIC JAH MICHAEL, Mr. 223, the guy who expensive past namer. And of course, this evening, I have my regular men in the studios. I like, see, no, that I know saying that name.
We no talk now.
I know saying that name and they laugh.
We no
I say
talk.
expensive past name
Okay.
until I pick another person's name.
We are.
Osunmio.
It's
Until
a
I pick
crime
another
to
footballer.
just smile.
Anyway, I kiss my rest on your pieces. All right, imprint. You're not supposed you might padio. You're not supposed to do like this, seriously. But anyway, you're welcome on the show tonight.
Thank you, JAH MICHAEL. Though normally they will say that Entoba full around full.
It's
I
not
really
normal.
don't know
It's
what I did
abnormally.
that made you to be reacting this way. Sincerely, I did nothing. I
You
just
were, you
chose
were,
to
you were
smile.
laughing.
I
not
was
smiling.
smiling. I was not laughing.
I could hear it.
You could hear the
Laughter coming from the epiglottis,
No,
Abi,
Your
esophagus,
you're so far that you're
intestine.
innuendo.
Okay, no problem.
How are we doing? Nigeria, let's say they say you don't park your vehicle for us.
Ah, see,
Hey.
we are living with the grace of God in Nigeria today because as it is, we have two problems. Number one is either you don't have money to buy fuel,
Hey.
or you have money but you cannot buy fuel. Why? Because you don't know where to get it. So either ways, you are a victim in this country. So majority of us are victims, and we are surviving. We are surviving.
You think about as a man, it is not easy. You think about house, you think about car, you think about fuel, you
It
think
is
about
what it is.
food. Nowadays, if like say food don't even reach out before you buy like 1 or 2 Congos of rice within just 2-3 days. you don't
Baba,
finish. I already tell you that.
are you sure you are not looking for alternative to rice? Egbo and leo.
Do you know how much they sell corn now?
Corn, exactly.
You are talking Igbo.
Oh,
Corn
Lord.
is so expensive now. too.
But the only thing you can do is if you have conference. Conference.
The association of
Yeah.
rice and corn.
Corn.
Conference.
Agbado.
Shay, am I right?
Cassava.
Is that what's on your mind?
If Agbado is not okay, you can get cassava.
Ha.
Jesus.
Okay.
And though I know Gary is expensive. Too.
That
Gary
is the problem
competing.
of Nigerians.
Gary is
You
competing
always know how to adapt. You always know how to move.
He said you always know. Are you not in Nigeria?
My system is
You
not
say we
aligning.
always
My
know how
system
to
is not
adapt. All of us they adapt.
aligning with Nigeria again.
All of us they here together. Bro, you are welcome on the show. How are you?
Thank
How are we
you very
coping?
much.
I know you don't even park your car. I didn't see your car
Baba na
everywhere.
big man.
Too
Eh,
much.
eh.
Baba,
You see,
OG,
ah,
Odogu,
So,
okay. oh.
come back.
Well, it's been grace of God.
and balls.
And I can see it all over you guys too. Everybody it's just been
Grace past grace. So see our grace na lepa. Your grace na rubber.
you don't see me say na lepa person I be.
And if you get you lepa, your grace na rubber.
Yes, I claim it. Yes, my grace now, Robo. I
Small
don't know
body,
what
big
you
God.
want to tell
That's
about
right.
your own.
Huh?
I don't know what you want to say about your own.
I
You
think
better
I-
claim them.
Leave my own.
Okay. All right. It's very exciting to be back in the studio this afternoon. How you doing too?
I'm cool.
Nice one.
I'm cool. I no get car. I don't trek tire. You trek where?
Hopefully,
When I
you get money for bike.
place where bike they carry me 300. Go stop bike, say 500. I don't know where they go. I leg am. When I reach office, I'll carry Bro, myself. I even want to use AC again. Like no day. You don't even know what you want to do again. Anyway, we go survive. That is
By
why
the
we are
grace of God,
Nigerians.
inshallah.
One song say Najarelo, una know they fail. Even though the country they well, una still they sell. So no matter what happen, we will survive with them move. All right, there's something special on the table this evening. Let's have this. Come on, at the table. Wow. All right, this Palmo you are seeing here, it's courtesy of Taste Confectionaries and Events. We want to really appreciate you for this one. All right, we got a short break, and when we return, we'll go straight into the topic for tonight.
Okay.
All right, you're welcome back. And the station is still Western Spring Television, and the program is Men on Court. And tonight, I told you when I return, we'll be talking about this very important topic. Tonight, we'll be talking about celibacy and sexual purity. Hmm. All right, according to my findings, celibacy is a stage of voluntarily abstaining from sexual activity, often for religious, spiritual, or personal reasons. It can be a temporary or lifelong commitment. And it says that celibacy is practiced in various forms and for different purposes across cultures and religions. Emperor, celibacy, when the word comes to you, what comes to mind?
Well, as some guy who was born in a Catholic church, I think I got an idea of that early in my life, where we have priests and we have nuns who dedicate their life to a certain spiritual ideology, whereby they choose to be alone and do the work of God. So they commit to religious celibacy, and like the title said, I mean, what you read said, the definition said, it could be lifelong, it could be temporary.
For a period of time.
For such people, it's a lifelong thing. It's what they are committed to, that okay, we want to do the work of God. In their own kind of belief. They believe that probably it's a distraction to go ahead to have a family and to have sexual relationship or activities. So celibacy is around sexual activities.
Wow.
And that's basically what it is. Be it for whatever purposes, it is around sexual activity, abstaining from sexual activity. That's basically what celibacy is all about.
All right, thank you very much. Imprint. Can sexual activity bring a kind of distraction? Because say something like that, they felt like, when you're not celibate, when you have a wife at home, you are doing some sexual things, it can be a kind of distraction. Can sexual activity bring distraction?
Well, sexual activity can actually bring distraction, especially when you have a set target. For people in the religious faith, like in the Catholic Church, as they said, rightly said, they have celibacy not only because of the distraction from marriage, but rather spiritual connection to God. They believe having sexual intercourse can limit the connection to God, to the spirituality. So it is rather a thing of, I want to be committed to God and God alone. But for people that are deciding in the outside world to be celibate, it is because of a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons, in the sense that a lot of people decide to go celibate in order to train themselves towards being committed to just an individual. So it is like a training towards, I want to get married to somebody and I want to be committed to this person eventually. I don't want to partake in sexual activities before I will eventually settle down with somebody, because it has been like a proven fact that if you engage in sexual activities a lot before you get married, it takes the grace of God and extra service for you to be able to detach yourself and stick to one person. Because you cannot imagine, let's use food for example, you cannot imagine eating amala today, eating pounded yam tomorrow, eating fried rice, jollof rice another day, and then they are telling you to stick to eba for the rest of your life. It is always going to feel difficult. You have to be deliberate about it if you want that to happen. But a person that decided that, okay, all the days of my life till I eventually have to settle down to pick a particular food to eat, I will only be taking Gary.
So you're trying to say
It's not
that
going to be easy.
celibacy is not, it is not necessarily a lifelong thing
Of
for
course.
some set of people.
Definitely. And do you realize that you can be celibate sexually and still not be sexually pure?
We're
Yes.
coming there.
There are two different things
still
that are
coming to that
intertwined with each other.
sexual purity. We will now dissect the two together. We will look at the fulcrum and the innuendo of the matter,
God no
and
shame us.
we will now bring everything out together. But on the long run, celibacy, don't you think, are there benefits to being celibate, especially for maybe a guy who has not, maybe a guy who's just growing up, who has not done anything like that before, and who has decided I want to be celibate for as long as possible till I'm ready? Are there really benefits to that?
Well, I will not answer that question the way you asked it.
Okay, you want to divert it?
I will come from a different perspective.
All right.
Now, you're asking about, are there benefits? So when you're talking about benefits, you're talking about most of the time something that somebody voluntarily enters into and they are not required to do, or they choose to do and they are not required to do. Now let's backtrack to some components of the society. Let's backtrack towards two things. And those two things are going to define most of us. As a matter of fact, all of us. Let's backtrack to culture. And let's backtrack to religion. Right from the beginning of human race, those two things have always been intertwined with us. You know, humans have always had a way of connecting to their spiritual source through religion. And we have also have a way of life among a people, which is our culture. Now, in those two fronts, it is a requirement for you to stay away from sexual activities before you get married. Now, you would start telling me that I'm old school, that no, the world is moving away from that place now, that you are let's embrace Western
culture.
Let's go back to Western still. The foundation and the beginning of Western too did not condone it.
Yes.
No culture that I am aware of in the whole of the world started by condoning premarital sex. You have to abstain until you get a partner and get married to them. As a matter of fact, it's a sacrilege for you to engage in such things. So it's not really primarily a religious thing. Because all these religions, they met culture.
Yes.
Religions drew some of these things from culture. Right from the beginning, that was the way it was. That was the way it was. I don't know if I'm correct, but I will say it is everywhere in the world. I don't want to be absolute because I have not investigated every culture of the world in their early forms and all of that. Now, the Western culture that came here and bring this, liberalize everything, that you're free to do whatever you like, also was like our own culture. that does not permit sexual activity before you have some marital relationship. Commitment. Yeah, you get. So people often want to attack, and they will say, "Oh, this is your religion." It's not about religion.
Yeah.
It's also cultural. Which one are you attached to? Okay, you can decide today that, okay, I'm not attached to all this your religion. You are coming from the position of culture. So back to your question of saying, does he have a benefit or does he not have? He does have a lot of benefits.
Okay.
To stay true to yourself and stick to one person. You see, I will not deny the fact that regardless of what you do, you can end up in either ways, in any way, in any circumstance, in any situation. You get. Some people will always tell you that it's good to explore each other very well so that you will understand your compatibility and all those kind of stuff.
A lot of things are happening.
You know what? I call it bullshit. Yeah, I call it bullshit.
Why?
Yes. See, if you are inexperienced sexually and I am inexperienced sexually and we come together, we'll figure it out.
So you guys are
if a child,
learn on the job,
is born today and you just put them there, let's go back, it's Bible me, I understand when it comes to religious stuff like that. When Adam and Eve were put together, who told them where to put it? Nobody.
Exactly.
Well, although it is going to be argued that the snake came, yes, that the snake came and whatever and whatever.
If we are to follow the Bible, you don't have any other source of knowledge in terms of religion apart from the Bible. And the Bible did not say that the snake told them to put it here.
But I guess that was actually what happened.
Some people said that apple that they actually ate was the
do.
That
yes,
that was the
that is all over the place, right? So, but then, see, put two people out there, and I don't know whether scientists can perform that kind of experiment.
Of course,
that just they don't know anything from anywhere. Put them together, you go see Pekino.
Definitely.
Then go do it.
Hey, but is it all about picking?
Then go see Peking.
If
you know, no, it's just the evidence. I'm talking about the evidence.
What about
you
the
know,
pleasure? And
you could like no. I'm not saying I'm not denying the pleasure part, but it was pleasure. If it were not to be pleasure, our population would not reach this level. If it were not to be pleasure, some of us will be getting married at age 40 something. If it were not pleasure, a lot of people will not even get married
at all.
Because when you're talking about marriage, thank God you are one of us now. You used to be a boy.
The street.
Now you're a man.
They are reminding me.
Now, in marriage,
thank God,
you will understand that there are so many things to be scared about.
Yes.
There are so many things to want to be like, but I go do waiting go make me do am, go make it do am. That one, of course, and a whole lot of other stuff. So on top of, a lot of people are getting married because God tied that thing together, and they start having children. They say, okay, we need to get married now, since there is. Some people will not be attracted to women if there is no issue of sex. You get. So let's get back on topic. For me, it's cultural, it's also spiritual, it's religious. Okay, let me stop there. I don't want to start digging deep again.
Looking at the fact that, it said something about sex, that sex it is pleasurable, right? There's pleasure involved.
Who is he asking?
And
I mean,
medically, sex reduces stress.
Andre.
Stress, it comes to the nerves. It gives women feel good.
Serotonin.
It comes out.
Serotonin.
And that's why you see when you did it at night, next morning you see Madam, hello, I want to go and do what's it be that program? On the program the next day you will know. Our voice will come out. Hello, good evening. The glow will be there.
No problem.
So now imagine that someone that's been celibate for so many years. Wouldn't there be physical or some mental issues relating to that?
Mental,
Yes, now you know that's to do with psychological stuff. You know, you're
JAH
not having
Michael,
it, you're not doing it,
JAH
and
Michael,
you're
I
not
know
releasing the feel good hormones. You're not, uh, you're stressed. There's nothing to calm you down to take off the stress from you.
other things can calm you down, but that's not even the
But
point.
can someone be totally celibate? When a man starts growing up, there's this thing they call wet dream.
Mhm.
During the wet
Okay,
dream, you're already having
JAH
a
Michael,
feeling of it.
going to your question, can someone
Okay.
be totally celibate? The
Mm.
answer is yes, you can be,
Okay.
except if you choose not to be totally celibate.
Okay.
And the reason why you will choose not to be totally celibate is very clear.
Mm.
Pleasure, you are deliberately saying that, okay, the pleasure I can derive from this, I'm choosing not to derive it. That's you deciding that, okay, anything that comes around this sexual thing, I will not do it at all. But again, when it comes to the issue of celibacy and individuals, the truth is, it is not always very easy, especially for a person that has been sexually active before, and now you are deciding that I want to be celibate. It is always not going to be easy. And the reason is very simple. You have been tasting something before, otimanjije kind of thing. Now you are deciding that I'm not going to taste it again. The temptations will always be there. You will always see it. You always see something that will nudge you to do it again. You get? So it is always not going to be easy. Now, talking about the medical advantages of it, of course, there is a lot of medical advantages to it. If you look at majority of sickness that we have in our world today, HIV, AIDS, and a lot of other sicknesses, infections, they made us realize that it came from a particular sexual intercourse with another animal. Normally, it shouldn't even be in the first place, having sex with an animal. How? But Yoruba will say that ontojun wa lojunri. You that you chose not to even have sex with human being again and went to animal, it means you're looking for something else. And till today, we are living in the problem. And they will tell you that if you really want to be secure with your health, it's best to abstain from sex or you stick to one partner.
But in the case of you were saying someone can be totally celibate.
Of course.
In the case of someone who is having wet dream, is already having that same pleasure.
You realize that it is an hormonal something. It is not. It is part of your natural thing.
Natural.
It is natural. You
And
just
it is
have
normal.
to. It is a sign for your body to tell you that yes, your body is now aware that this particular organ in your body is now active. It can now be used for this. You can derive this pleasure from this.
When the time
Your
comes.
body is notifying you. It's just like I'm sending you SMS that okay, the service you requested for is now available.
All right.
So
Emperor, okay, what are the challenges? You know, you want to be celibate. What are the challenges the society brings to you in terms of, you know, trying to keep up with you being celibate? Because you know, as a society, I changed my result. Society.
You have asked the wrong person a particular question. Yes. The reason why you have asked the wrong person is because I'm not a celibate.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm not celibate.
What are the
right?
At least possible challenges now?
Now that said, I will attempt.
Oh yeah, attempt the
to
question.
answer your question.
Don't be another.
But before I answer your question, I quickly will chip something in.
Okay, chip it in.
Now, you're talking about celibacy as if it's rocket science. I'm not saying it's easy, but see, life is such that you need to be deliberate about anything at all in life. And with whatever you do in life, you need a level of discipline. And with celibacy, you need huge level of discipline. This is Men Uncut.
Yeah.
And these are guys.
Yeah.
Here. The easiest way to destroy yourself as a man is not to tame your third leg. Yeah. I can climb anything. I can enter any hole.
Okay.
You get that kind of
You are
stuff.
explorer.
It's a really, really dangerous stuff. I'm not going spiritual yet.
Okay.
Let's stay physical. You see, most of the most powerful men in the world. You've seen the what is Achilles guy? What's the Troy and all stuff like that. all those things, it's all about women, great, fantastic creatures. But guess what? They destroyed the most powerful men in this world. They were destroyed by women.
Even, let me
We are not
buttress
saying
you.
women, we are saying sex.
One of the most recent examples, one of the presidential candidates in US, Donald Trump, is part of the case that they are lying to him.
Leave politics out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Now,
even during the time of Bill Clinton, there was something like that with Lewinsky.
Exactly.
they leave all of that out
Okay.
of because these are trending issues. They are
Okay.
debatable, you know.
Yeah.
So, as a guy, as a man, be it unmarried, be it, oh, he's not it, Sha, be you unmarried or married, you need that discipline.
Yeah.
And there is something I find very, very interesting, and you will agree with me if I explain, is that
I will think about it. Let's hear first.
sex is not all physical.
Yeah.
It's very, very emotional. It's very, very psychological. You get? They do say something about women that before they lay with you physically, in their mind, they have done it.
Yeah.
They have actually dissected the whole thing from old garage when the car was going, when it got to your door, how they slide inside, how they showered, how they actually. So the whole thing is about the mind.
It's not directing a pornography movie.
It's about the mind. It's about you working it out on your mind.
Yes.
Now, that is where I want to come in from.
Okay.
If you can tame your mind, it's discipline.
Yes.
Honestly, this issue of sex will not be a big deal. It's not going to be. Now, if you have come to a point where you decided, especially those spiritual kind of stuff, and you want to say, ole gan, ole, yeah, it is. But for them, it is and it is not. Why? They are determined.
Yes.
They know that this is not something I am going to do. This is not something I am doing. Their mind does not work it. You see, as you are seeing it like this, on this seat, this way I'm talking like to you like this, you get some kind of thing where I don't calculate inside my head.
Direct pornography.
You get that? Where I don't calculate how it be, how it go be, how I go follow up. Now it's because I'm sexually active. It's the truth. I will follow through with that thought, and I keep feeding it.
Yeah.
I keep feeding it
until you achieve it.
The whole of me moves in that direction.
Yes.
But then the guy that has decided that I want to be a father, I don't want to be a father. Nah,
even for the
guy
so-called priests, there are still temptations.
There are temptations.
Come around.
I said
will you be running away from the other gender because you don't want to?
No, you don't have to.
That's why you have to be deliberate.
Won't it affect your relationship with people?
No.
People want to get closer to you. People want to come to you. They want to sit with you, talk to you.
They will even seduce you.
Oh, definitely.
You should have that.
Definitely.
They will seduce you as a priest.
Why are you saying?
Don't say no. Don't say you think those priests, they are just free. Everybody looks at them. This one is a priest. So I will not. They seduce them. Yes. With big everything. They seduce them. Go and ask them. Go and talk to them. You're a Catholic now. Talk to your priest now. I'm serious.
I will ask.
I'm no longer a Catholic anyway, so I really don't have a lot of access to priests like that. But you still do. Please talk to one priest and ask him, Father, she one can seduce you. If he wants to, he will tell you stories. They do. But they have decided that no.
Nothing can come.
And it doesn't mean that some people don't fall for it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. A lot of people do.
Some people do.
We've had cases of reverend sisters that decided to get married.
Celibacy.
They just stop it.
Celibacy.
It doesn't mean that they are bad people. They are just human.
But after
they are being human.
Okay, now you said that some will fall for it. After falling for it, can someone still go back and still continue after that?
Now you realize that
it's like that apple. You've eaten the apple now you know how the apple is like.
When it comes to JAH MICHAEL, when it comes to the aspect of religion, it's always not going to be easy because the concept in the first place is about you not falling for it
Not
at
doing
all.
at all. Yeah.
So the moment you do that, you should know there is something that you've broken.
Fire on the
It's like a
mountain.
promise that you've broken. So whatever is going to be the resulting thing between you and God is up to you.
And also the establishment.
Yes, it's up to you. Exactly. If the establishment should know, of course, you know where you're going to end. So, but apart from that, now coming to the secular world, I decided to be celibate. I fall for temptation once. It is always going to be painful, but you can always go back and continue being celibate. It's as simple as that.
It's
You
as
have no
simple as
connection. Celibacy has
What if
no
that person that
old.
made you fall still keeps on coming back? I'm following you, I'm following you, I'm
Then
following
it
you.
all depends on you. It means that you, in the first place, deciding to be celibate, you were not really certain yet that you want
Because
to do that.
I've been in a
It's because you've
situation.
not gotten the opportunity to explore what you wanted to do. If you
That's
had the
another
opportunity,
issue. That's another
yes,
issue.
a lot of people choose to be celibate because they believe, because of inferiority complex. Let's just put it that way.
All right, I've been in a situation
Or lack
whereby
of access.
there's this
Exactly.
particular lady who will tell me, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. But whenever she sees me, because she told me I don't want to do this, so I decided to respect her opinion that she doesn't
That's a
want to do
good
it.
boy.
But whenever she comes around and she sees me, before you know it, she'll start, making attempts. And I will now remind her that, you know what, you told me you don't want to do this. Just for this one will not, later it happens. After
What
the
happens?
thing, she will now sit down and look at me and said, "See, I don't even like, I don't like coming to you. Whenever I see you, you are the reason for. Not that, but I told you when you were about falling. No, I told that we shouldn't do it.
There are so many. There are so
She's
many
always
ways
blaming.
to this. There are so many ways to this. Number one, what I feel about that, right? Number one, she may not be sincere.
Yes.
She may not be sincere about the commitment.
Yes.
She may be forming the way she may be forming that. Just look at me like.
If I say no, I mean yes. That kind of thing.
No, not
If it
even
be-
that. Not even that. My no means yes. We know that is always
Normal.
the case. That one is normal. you get that as they be.
Normal.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Something
Don't
like that.
stop.
But then this particular person might be painting the picture that I'm a good girl.
Okay, so that I won't look at her like.
I'm whatever it is, and wanting to convince you that, oh, this one I have to, you see, she's special and that kind of stuff. You don't know what that girl is doing out there.
Yeah.
You really don't know.
So maybe.
And probably you don't want to know. That is one area. Number two, that is also a possibility because I hate sticking with one opinion. So number two thing that could have happened could be that she's sincere about it.
Yeah.
She didn't want it. But, there is this thing that they said about when Jesus said, he said,
Yes.
You see,
Flesh.
you know what is right.
Yes.
And you want to do what is right. Well, let me not put right. Let me not bring right in. You know what you want. And you know you want to do that. Unfortunately, the whole of you is fighting against it.
You are willing to do it.
The whole of your body has a mind of its own. You have a
Yes.
mind of your own, and it is contradictory.
Kai.
Now, what could have been done in that kind of situation
Is to stay away.
like Good Luck Jonathan said at that time, separate the yam from the goat.
Exactly.
So when the goat is not with the yam, who will eat the yam?
And
The goat will not eat the yam.
That was what I was saying the other time. Does that now mean that because you want to be celibate, you have to start avoiding some people? You have to start avoiding some people?
You are
Again,
not avoiding. You are not going into places where things like that are going to be sparked. You are human being.
Emperor.
Bring one priest.
Emperor.
Bring one priest to one corner, and you are now doing Robin. You are now saying priests are human. So they are not going to do that kind of nonsense.
Of course.
They will not do it. They
And
also know that they are human beings.
JAH
They will
MICHAEL,
not do it.
he said something the other time.
Okay.
He said, if you want to be celibate, you have to be deliberate about it.
Part
Being
of the deliberate about being celibate.
What a right.
Wisdom. Take out. Wisdom.
What is the color of his cap? What is the color of his cap?
Don't worry.
Wisdom color. Wisdom color.
Now, if you really want to do that, you have to be deliberate. And in the process of being deliberate, you have to make some decisions. This person is my weakness. I will, at least till the time I have my strength to be alone, to be with this kind of person and still not get moved to this point, it is best I stay away from that person. Imagine a person that wants to stop some activities. Probably you are smoking and you want to stop it. If you look at your circle of friends, majority of them are smokers. It is best, if you are really sincere about it, it is best to stay away from them for the time being, for you to get your hold on yourself. Or else, anytime you see them, you will, before you know it, you have a stick in your hand. It's the same thing with sex.
Oh, you're right.
Some of them are even wicked.
Of course, they will even force you to eat. Like, stop it. They will push you.
When I was 7, I used to have a friend way back. I said, they finish one stick, they carry another one. One stick, they carry another one.
They call them fikonokan.
If he's at the sleep, his house, if they smell, he will wake up and start. He will look for where the thing is. And the same thing with.
So that's how it is.
So there was time I had to, I started blending them. And people like that, they used to avoid ladies.
Yes.
They used to avoid closer relationship with the other gender because those ones want to deter them from doing what they are doing.
Of course.
So I had to link in with somebody, and he was already cooperating, and we stopped smoking, and I was just taking one bottle every day. After 1 month, I said, let's go. So it was already adjusting, a month, 2 months. That's one of our big bros come one night. Alpha, let's go to the club. I said, bon, don't take him to the club. If you want to go, we'll go together tomorrow. Nothing. He took him there. I saw about drink. I saw about smoke. He came back like I said, guy, he said, well, it is not easy. I cannot come and die. Let me live my life. Everybody be living their life.
Something must kill him.
But that was there.
So sincerely, that's one of the things you have to do if you really want to achieve the results. I want to do this exam. I want to sit for this exam. I want to pass. I definitely know I have to read. So if I have to read, it means that I have to be deliberate about carrying that particular book to read it. If I don't read it, the book will be there and I'll be failing. It's as simple as that.
All right. Let's now take a look at sexual purity. According to what I have, it refers to the commitment to refrain from sexual activity outside of a committed monogamous relationship, often within the context of marriage it involves. By the way, let's go on a short break. When we return, we will now take a look at the difference between, I don't know, because what I'm reading it looks alike. But there's a difference between celibacy and sexual purity. We'll be right back.
Evelyn Ohiole, King Eve, how are you today?
I'm good, I'm fine, I'm alive.
I really feel like she's not giving the right answer to the question. When one asks you, how are you, and you said, you're saying, I'm alive. It's very annoying, seriously. How are you? I'm fine. I feel I'm fine will be the right answer instead of I'm alive. Not that I asked you if you're dead before.
Go and check all these 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, everybody, they are extraordinarily sexually active.
I feel is being unnecessarily hyper when it comes to the issue of sex, because we talk about other topics and he feels so reserved. He really doesn't have anything much to say when it comes to other stuff. But when it's the issue of sex, I believe he's being unnecessarily hyper. That's when I have to pick an issue with him. I mean, it's just being unnecessarily there when we're talking about sex. Just like a child, his mom just got him his favorite chocolate or ice cream, very happy, doing as though he doesn't have sex for a day, he's going to die.
When it comes to finance, women also support their husbands financially. You need me emotionally. You need me spiritually.
Cassie is an amazing person, but I hate the too much attachment to that gender. I need you spiritually, I need you mentally. I can get these things anywhere with money. If you go by the topic was, who does marriage favors the most? I mean, you know how many jobless women they marry every Saturday? They are saying it favors you. Are they vague so?
Growing up, when I was in the world, we've heard of
Why, you know?
Well, MC Too Much said, he likes saying when I was in the world. And the last time I checked, well, it looks a bit innocent, facially, but deep down, is actually out of this world. We're all in the world now. As long as you're alive, you're in the world. So, MC Too Much, I beg you to talk about that. I don't want to hear that. Next time you talk about like
I think they have a problem with you saying ladies are champion, and that's the problem. Always trying to attach too much importance to that gender.
it's giving insecurity, it's giving low self-esteem, it's giving a blatant display of egoism. Because at the end of the day, a man who is secured in his word, a man who is confident of who he is, will not really be disturbed as to whether women are being referred to as champions or not. I mean, at the end of the day, Joseph's a really great guy, but whether he likes it or not.
It's as simple as that. What are you telling me?
You want to turn it to football now?
I will finish
that
here.
We're going to be dragging football here.
No problem. No problem.
Can
Continue.
I tear my clothes?
Continue. Don't.
No, tear my clothes.
Actually, we finish
dragging football.
No problem.
You see, he's already threatening. He said we finish football. I want to go and beat after this because we are talking about football.
Did I mention beating?
Call the police.
Did I mention beating?
He said we meet outside.
You need escort out of this.
I only said we will finish the show.
I need the DSS officers. Give me 5.
Okay.
He said we will meet outside.
I will call FBI.
Okay, you go outside. Now I will stay inside.
They play.
I will stay inside. You go outside.
Continue.
I will not go outside today.
No problem.
All right, you're welcome back. The program is still Men Uncut on Western Spring Television. All right, I was talking about sexual purity, but before then, a big shout out to Taste Confectionaries and Events for this sweet pomo. We're on the top scenes. The thing is helping the conversation.
Thank you.
That pomo, now they make people talk like that. Anyway, sexual purity refers to the commitment to refrain from sexual activity outside of a committed monogamous relationship, often within the context of marriage. It involves abstinence from premarital sex, fidelity within marriage, avoidance of lustful thoughts and behaviors, self-control, and moderation in sexual desires. All right, celibacy and sexual purity, not be the same thing.
They are not the same thing.
See, we don't have abstinence. This is abstinence.
Yeah, but they have context.
Exactly. They are not the same.
How?
They are applicable in different situations.
Okay.
You can be celibate and still not be sexually pure. Yes.
You know they do.
Yes.
And you can't still pure.
No,
you know they
impure.
do, and it's impure. I said it's you can be celibate and not be sexually pure.
I think it's even the notion of celibacy. It's not about, because I think people may want to see it from the point of view of penetration of any kind.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be. Yeah.
The celibacy itself.
It doesn't have to be penetration. Virgins do have orgasm.
Yes.
Virgins. Intact hymen.
They do have nice time with guys.
Virgins.
Virgins. And they will still be intact.
Yeah.
It is not only when we are saying sexual activity. It is not.
You don't know.
Sexual intercourse is part of sexual activity.
So
yes.
Sexual activity wide.
Oh, wide, of course. Umbrella and fego. Intercourse is part of the umbrella. I don't want to say this one,
Kisses.
but you know, everything is under the umbrella. They are all sexual activities. You know everything.
Everything. ing.
So all those things
they're under the umbrella.
So when you celebrate, you can still do all those things.
Yes, you can.
But the only thing is
we are not saying you can't.
Of course, we are not.
I'm
not saying
you
must do that. No, I'm not saying that you must do it.
But
it's not a way out.
You may still. You won't do it at all.
If you really want to stick to the ideology of celibacy,
that's what
you have to stay away from even the sexual activities. Exactly.
Everything. So what about sexual purity? Is it not the same thing?
Sexual purity under celibacy is, if you want to really maintain the ideology of celibacy, you have to maintain sexual purity as well. Because just like we are citing the example of Reverend Fathers and co., I'm not targeting them right now, but the truth is,
they are the biggest examples.
Yes, they are the biggest examples. They can look celibate to everybody. But in the office, do you know what is going on? Do you know if, sister, we will not have the sex of a thing, but we can enjoy
Everyone have
ourselves.
fear.
So far, we are not having intercourse that can lead to pregnancy, that everybody will be like, father did this. Then we can believe we are safe. But if you really want to stick to the celibacy ideology, you have to stay away from all the afarajo of sex. Because the truth is, if I'm saying that, okay, I'm going to be celibate, but at the same time, girl, you can come around. We will not have sex, but we can be doing this. Before you know it, I will break that vow to myself. Because it's a matter of time. We are talking of flesh in this case. Flesh is very, very powerful. That's why we have to be deliberate about it. So flesh is extremely powerful to the extent that you can get carried away and just realize that I've done what I don't want to do. So if you are telling us that you are sexually inactive, that's what you are that's what you are saying, that's what you are interpreting as celibacy. But you are active in other things that we can put under the umbrella of sexual activities. You can easily activate the being active sexually as well. It is very easy.
So are you trying to say sexual purity, celibacy needs sexual purity to thrive? Is that what we're saying?
Celibacy, if you are celibate, you must be sexually pure. That's it.
They're saying the same thing?
Yes.
Yes. I just rephrased it so that it doesn't sound confusing. If you are celibate, you must be sexually pure, especially when it comes to religious context.
Yes.
In fact, it's an absolute must, because it's not because they don't want you to have
the pleasure,
the intercourse or whatever. Everything that has to do with your mind and everything needs to stay away from sex.
Yes. But is it possible for us as humans to not think about anything that has to do with sex? Because I looking at things, sometimes you go on the social media, you see somebody wearing something skimpy. Sometimes that even some sites.
JAH Michael,
this is just pop up.
The answer is still the same. You have to be deliberate. You will see all these things. We live in that kind of world now. Before I move from this station to the junction, I will definitely see one or two people that will make me to want to be like, wow, see that babe. Okay, she's set.
Which is fine on
its
own.
It is normal.
Processing it further is
the problem.
So you can look, but don't look.
Don't
Did
act on
you
your
remember
looking.
what Jesus said?
Okay.
Is it Jesus? He said, don't look the second time.
The second time. Yes, the second time is the sin.
Quran also said,
lower your gaze.
Lower your gaze. Stuff like that.
So if I see babe now.
So they are all saying similar stuff.
Babe now.
Yeah.
Don't take the second look.
So if I look at a babe now, oh boy, come off face like this. I'll be going.
Just go.
Appreciate the work of God. But man say,
appreciate the beauty
God they create.
What if I look at the style of the clothes so that I can tell
now you are
somebody to go and
you know what you do. All
you
of
know
us
what you are looking for.
Man just look clothes like this.
All of us we know what we do.
So the second look, brother, is
to yourself.
Hello, sister. And I want to talk to you.
Hello, Abibi. Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. It's been a wonderful time on the show tonight. I want to believe we've been able to do one or two things. We've been able to, touch all these things: sexual purity, celibacy, and I believe that by now, lots of people who are maybe in doubt about one or two things concerning this, they must have learned one or two things. So, your sign-out word.
Well, what I would say to guys out there, to men out there is, you know what you want, you know where you're heading to, you know the destination, and you know everything you need to do to get to that destination. Don't be distracted. The end goal is the most important thing. So just go for it. Thank you.
Don't be distracted. Don't come on street. You don't know what, brother.
Well, I need to say it first that don't believe us. Everything we have been saying, we also don't know what we are saying. That's just our opinions.
All right.
But then, whatever you do, we are talking to men out there. Please, discipline.
All right.
Determine, then back it up with discipline. Thank you.
All right. Big shout out to Taze confectionaries and events for the lovely mama you gave us. You know, see
You
the
sweet,
way
oh.
it makes sense.
You didn't
And
sweet.
to the entire crew of this program, say shout out to you guys. I don't want to mention name. If I say my mention name, we don't come up for here. All right, I'm J to the A to the H, MIC, JAH Michael, Mr. Choo Fitty. Now the guy who expensive past name. We'll meet by the grace of God. We'll meet next week for another edition of the program. Before I go, I want to say happy birthday to that very special person to me. My blah blah blah. Happy birthday to you. I wish you long life and prosperity, and to every other person
Do we
celebrating
still have time to
birthday
sing?
out there.
You still have time to
And we
sing
can
for her?
sing as we move. Bye bye. Sing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Mrs. JAH MICHEL.
Mrs. JAH MICHEL.
Mrs. JAH MICHEL. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for what you are doing for our brother.
Bye bye.
He's looking fresher. Wonderful.
Really?
Hold on.
Thank you.